Okay. Welcome, 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 everyone. I can't believe we are here. This is the maiden voyage, right, Candace,
Yes, exactly.
of Daytime Today. And we couldn't be more excited to be here. And want to
Yes,
thank whoever is tuning in now or later. Thank you for joining us. We've got
exactly.
5 billion things to cover.
Yeah, we're gonna cover everything. Don't worry, you guys. We're gonna cover everything, and it's gonna be fun. And like Tammy says, welcome, welcome, welcome all aboard the lovely Daytime Today train. Choo choo.
Choo choo. All right, let's see. So let's start with Candace. What did you think about the week?
Oh my God, Tammy, can I just say I am so glad all these soaps are back. I mean, I know Days of Our Lives was still brand new, but to have General Hospital, Bold, it feels right. And I'm so glad that all the soapy yummy yums are back. It's been really so goodness. You're getting a lot of drama, family. I'm just happy. It really feels weird. And I think we'll get to this, is that each show is is a bit different than before. And I
Yeah,
don't know if it's because they've been gone for like 3 to 4 months or there's something new over in the writing pool. But I just feel as though each show is giving you something to make you tune in each day, which is a good thing. And it's a cliffhanger, not on just Fridays.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm just really glad. I mean, General Hospital with the verdict. Oh,
It's so
Bold and
good. I
Beautiful,
know. This could be a
Bold and
recap show.
Beautiful.
I
Right,
know.
Bold and Beautiful with the marriage and Steffi and Young and the Restless to Victoria, and I'm just like,
And
okay,
all the
tune in,
drama in Salem, it's crazy. I think you're absolutely
aka
right.
50, aka
Yeah.
50 Shades of Salem. Yes,
Yes,
50 Shades of
exactly.
Salem.
Yes.
Yes,
With Lindsay Godfrey and Paul Telfer. Oh, absolutely fantastic stuff. I totally agree with you. I mean, I think
yeah,
I totally agree. It feels different. Part
yes,
of it probably has to do with, well, Days has been on because they filmed 17
right,
years in advance anyway. So,
pretty much.
they've been on through the pandemic. But,
Yes,
I also think the way that they're doing it gives the show a different feel.
yes, yes. I definitely agree. I mean, I think we all were a little skeptic of how they were going to do the whole social distance. If they were going to be able to do it, I think that's been the question. And, Bold and Beautiful was the first to come back. So they're the experiment. Young and the Restless, they're doing certain things to make it normal, because I think that's another thing is these soaps want to make us feel some kind of normal in the world of abnormal and whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I definitely applaud them for trying and for being creative. That's been the
Navigating
key.
these
Is that
waters. Absolutely.
yes, yes. But it's
Absolutely.
so much drama, it's so much goodness. Oh, love it.
Let's dive into some of this because, before the show started, you and I were talking,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, I feel like most of the news has to do with casting.
It does.
It was like,
It
it
does.
seemed like every single week there was some casting news, like across the board.
It really was. I mean, I think, once we heard that the soaps were coming back, obviously there was going to be some casting news. I mean, what's the world of soaps without casting news?
Without
I
some
mean,
drama.
there's some drama with that because you don't know what's going to happen. So let's just dive in and start with Courtney Hope.
Did you bring your box of
Uh,
Kleenex? Because I'm still crying.
now I have like darts because I want to target whoever made this decision. And I think Bold and Beautiful fans, you guys, we always taken back a bit because it was last week or the week prior where Courtney Hope went on social media to announce that she was leaving Bold and Beautiful again. This, uh,
I know.
this
And
kind
it
of hurt.
and
This
and and
this
the
hurt.
post in
Yeah,
particular, when she said it was an abrupt
exit.
exit,
Meaning,
it's like,
meaning you didn't get yeah, you didn't get like a 3 month. Like, hey, in 3 months we're gonna write. No, you got told that same day. And I think for a lot of fans, this was one of those moments where it's just like, are you serious? Like, come on now. You just had, Courtney Hope, who, in my opinion, next year on the Emmy ballot, her name better be on there for supporting actress, because if not, again, darts are going to be thrown somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the thing is that we've been with the Sally, storyline. I know some people are divided about how it turned out that she was, lying because of Wyatt, the phone. But I was hoping that they would have Sally and Thomas, because we know that Thomas returned. There was just so much more for Sally
There's
to
so
do.
many possibilities,
Right.
and we've said this before, that Bold has underutilized Courtney Hope from day one.
Yeah.
And so that's been a huge frustration. And she's got a lot of other stuff going on. I mean, she's huge in the gaming world as an actress.
Yes, she is.
She's huge, and that genre is enormous. And so she's going to stay busy, but selfishly speaking, I want to see her on other soap operas. I mean, there's only 4.
I mean, allegedly, she could pop over to General Hospital.
Oh.
Let me just say, soap fans unite, because General Hospital seems to be the soap that everybody wants Courtney Hope to be on. Days is a close second, but obviously General Hospital, yes, because Chad Duell, who's her real life boyfriend, is on General Hospital, but also they feel as though Courtney Hope can bring a new dynamic to a certain role of Serena Baldwin.
Right? I mean, where's Serena's been off the canvas for how many years?
Well, I mean, Carly Schroeder came back when I believe Lee and Gail Baldwin passed away. So
right.
they did bring back Serena. However, fans have been, I mean, there is a huge campaign to bring Serena Baldwin back. And this would be a good time to fill that role. And everybody has said Courtney Hope, not because of Chad Duell, but because of her energy, her passion, her dynamic. Like, she's feisty.
Yeah.
So can you
and
imagine
she can do
Courtney
anything.
Hope?
She can do anything. Whatever Frank Valentine throws at her, she's going to just be able to take the ball and run with it.
Exactly. So I think, out of the soaps, I can see her on General Hospital, allegedly.
Yeah.
I could see her on there. And I could also see her on Days of Our Lives with Stephanie Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see what happens. Hey,
we'll see what happens. Yeah, whatever happens, we will be, Daytime Today will be following her and supporting her wherever she goes. No question. We love you, Courtney.
I know. Now I do want tissues. I want tissues. Oh, God. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, let's check. Okay, so let's go in and talk about Lindsay Hartley.
Holy moly guacamole. I mean, are you kidding me?
Okay, let me get my fangirl out. I have loved her since day one of Passions, okay? I think she could do no wrong. I even loved her on Queens of Drama. Now, when General Hospital came back to production, fans were like shocked, first and foremost, to hear that the role of Sam McCall that Kelly Monaco has played for 15 years was being recast, temporarily emergency.
Candace, don't you kind of wish, like back in the old days, they used to have that recording of
the role
the role of Sam McCall is temporarily being played, or is being played by Lindsay Hartley.
He did that when she came on, but I think what's crazy is when fans found, so when this news came out, I think a lot of people had different takes on what was happening. Kelly Monaco's mom took to social media to, say that, hey, this was a health reason. Kelly needed to take some time to recuperate, so Lindsay stepped in. And boy, did she step in.
Oh my gosh. And they couldn't be more different in type.
No, and
couldn't be more different.
And the question has come up, and I'm going to ask you, Tammy, because I feel as though, we're talking about shows. Do you feel as though if this was Kelly playing it, it will be the same vibe that we're getting now? Or do you think because it is a different actress who's only been in this role for about what now? It's only a week, really, because Kelly Monaco is back to work. Do you feel as though that's the reason? It's like, you know, you put on new shoes after somebody else worn them and you get a different kind of comfort, or
I
how
think
do you
that's part of
feel?
it. But I think
Mm-hmm.
too, if there was a health issue for Kelly, then
Mm-hmm.
that would have affected her energy and her work. And I honestly feel for a little while she hasn't been there. She hasn't been
Yeah.
100% there. And, you know, back in the day, I was like Judgy McJudgy, like, what's going on with this actor? And like, they're just dialing it in and what's going on.
Right.
And I've learned not to do that because there's always stuff that's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly.
So when I started seeing this, the dynamic changed. I mean, Sam, Kelly Monaco, her energy started shifting. And so when she left because of, you know,
Right.
whatever
Like
situation it is,
right.
you
Tough
know,
reasons. Yeah.
it's like, okay, makes totally get it. Wish her all the best. Come back soon because it's an iconic role. But you
Right.
know, the energy that Lindsay has brought to Sam McCall has been phenomenal. Has been phenomenal and exciting. And her
Yes.
emotional availability, like, all the scene,
Tell
I
us.
feel like all the scenes she's been doing, and she's been crying, and like Jason gets into the accident, and Dolores, the parole officer from hell, is, you know, lurking in every corner, and she's had to be really emotionally raw and available, and man, she has just hit it out of the park.
She tweeted out that, you know, she said some big shoes to fill. Precious, I hope you enjoy watching it. Watching Sam as much as she's been enjoying playing it. And now, you know, she thanked General Hospital for this opportunity. You know, recast has the difficult, especially a temporary recast. And I think that's the thing that, you know, fans have to remember. This was a temporary recast. We didn't know how long she was going to be on. Obviously, it's been like a couple of episodes because, like we said earlier, Kelly Monaco has reported back to work. So her scene should be starting pretty soon, maybe in the next couple of weeks. But you're right. There is something different about Sam. And I do think it is because of how Lindsay is portraying this character. There's so much emotional connections. And I also agree with you about Kelly. I have, you know, in the last couple of years, I've been saying, you know, like, come on, Kelly, come on. But at the same time, I'm like, General Hospital is giving her the same old, same old.
Yeah.
And I do feel, you know, in my opinion, I do feel as though sometimes she's just there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's going to be interesting to see now where, you know, how Kelly takes on Sam
And I'm
after
hoping, yeah.
Lindsay.
And I'm hoping that Frank, he's a smart man. He sees the huge, wonderful reaction that Lindsay is getting.
Yes.
He's a smart guy. He should figure out a way to have her on the landscape. They've done it before.
She play. Now, okay, let's
I
just
don't
be
know.
casting directors. Well, here's the thing. I made a joke because, you know, like you said, there is such a huge response, a positive fan response to Lindsay being on General Hospital. The last time that happened was when Chloe Lanier, who plays now, was on the episode, the special Tony Gary episode, the week episode where she played the older sister, and a lot of people enjoyed her performance, which led to her playing out. Could the same thing happen to Lindsay? But I think the question is, will she play an existing character or a new character? And I thought about this, and you're gonna laugh. I'm thinking they're going to tie if they do give her a contract, if they, you know, say, hey, Lindsay, you coming on General Hospital, then she's going to play somebody connected to Peter.
That makes sense because nobody's connected to him. He's just like this island unto himself. You know, there's no family, there's no nothing. So when it comes to a landscape that there's room to fill, makes total sense. Makes total sense.
Yeah. I'm really hoping, Frank, if you're watching this, listening to us, hi. Hashtag
Hi.
hire Lindsay. She,
Yep.
her and Steve Burton, her and Nancy Lee.
Oh, yes.
I'm just like,
Oh, no. Oh, no. Her and the actor who plays Brando.
oh,
Mind,
that was it.
mind blown. Those scenes. I mean,
That,
I will say that Kelly Monaco brought it. The scenes
yes,
with, Sam with Brando, she always brought it, man. And, we hadn't seen Sam on fire like that in a really long time. And when Brando
exactly.
triggered that fire, it was like, oh, this is really good. And, but
It's
Lindsay, oh my
it's the
God, it's so
chemistry.
great.
It's the chemistry. I'm like, okay, could we say that Sam had a twin? Just saying.
Because,
Just
yeah,
just I'm not the writer. I'm just asking.
the writers, we'll just let them do their jobs and let Frank,
Exactly.
guide the ship and keep our fingers crossed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking. Pray to some Jesus.
Yeah. Speaking of recasts, so we also on General Hospital, we have Brianna Lane, who stepped into the shoes of Amanda Sutton because
Yes.
Amanda's on maternity leave. And yeah, so what are your thoughts on that?
First and foremost, congratulations, Amanda. I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I was like, oh, okay, is this just happened
idea.
or no? Like
No idea.
she's pregnant. Like, you know what? I'm applauding GH because when I first heard about this, I was like, oh, so they're gonna write her off. That means we're not gonna have Brooke. Even like right now, I'm just proud that GH has her on the show, the character, because they needed to rebuild the Quartermains. With Brianna, like I feel as though like I said, I'm glad about that decision because instead of just saying the character's going to Abadala somewhere or whatnot, you're continuing her story arc and continuing the dynamics of the Quartermain.
Yeah, and I do know that Amanda is a favorite of Frank's, so I'm glad that because they did that whenever Rebecca Herbst was off of maternity leave. They always navigated the waters and made it work. And
yes,
Brooklyn has always been a fun character. I've always enjoyed her. And so I'm glad that, like you said, that they're keeping her on the landscape. It's so good right now. It's so good.
She is Tracy Jr.
She is. And that's what I love. It's like I miss Tracy. I miss that character. Yes. Jane Elliott so much. And she came back for a month or so, maybe a month. Yeah. And it was like, oh, you give me life. This is beautiful. So
and it was interesting to see Tracy in Brooklyn because it was sort of like the torch was passed.
Yes.
To Brooklyn because now the irony of this is Ned is sort of the Edward. It's just this whole dynamic of the Quartermains, and like I said, I'm glad that they did this recast. I know a lot of fans are going to say, well, there's other roles that needs to be recast, but to me, this is definitely a must-needed recast.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying Brianna's take on things.
Me too.
Her energy is fantastic. She doesn't miss a beat. So yeah, I'm there. I'm there for it.
Yeah, no I'm 110 there. And again, the chemistry. She plays off of everybody, and that's very key with a recast. You have to have, that chemistry, because if we're going to be in scenes together, we need to bring it. You bring it here, I bring it there. And she's been doing it. So kudos.
Speaking of chemistry, so Olivia Rose Keegan is gone from Days of Our Lives. It was wonderful to have her back for that brief time. And this is a permanent recast. Isabel Durant is stepping in to the very colorful shoes of Claire Brady.
I love how you said that. Very colorful.
Very colorful shoes of Miss Claire. I believe she is, well, she's debuting
I think she's,
this
yeah,
month.
I think
Or is
she
it this
debuted
week?
earlier this week.
I
It was
haven't
this
watched
week.
any of the day's episodes yet, so
Oh,
I
okay, so I
can't.
can't tell you anything.
No, don't tell me. Yeah, don't say anything. Yeah, I don't know how they segued into. I always love watching for that moment. It's like,
Okay.
Olivia Rose Keegan leans in for a hug, and then when
Oh,
she gets out of the hug, it's now Isabel
this
Durant.
is not All My Children. This is not when Alexa Davis and they did the hug like within the same scene. It was like, okay, here's Alexa version of Babe, and then the next it was a different Babe. Or
Right?
on Gone Light,
Yes.
when Laura Wright left on that Thursday, it was like a car and the lights went out, and then on Monday the role of Cassie Winslow is now being played by Nicole Forster. Like, wait, what?
I know.
Like,
I
okay.
know.
But yeah, it's good. I'm gonna say this. I again appreciate Days, because to me, I do feel as though when we'll get into it, where certain people are leaving, you need to bring on characters that still have the history with the show, that has the connection with the fans. You need the next generation, and
That's it.
and
That's
that and
it.
that's the thing. And plus, oh my gosh, there's so many stories right there for
There's
her
so
too.
many. There's so many. It's interesting because Isabel's from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested
Yeah,
to see, the non-accent. Because that fascinates me
yeah, I
that they're
know,
able
I
to even
know.
do that. It's like it just fascinates me. So I'm excited. I love
Yeah,
Olivia. I love Olivia, and she's an Emmy Award winning actress and
exactly. Let's
deserves
give her
it.
her props with that. She definitely
Absolutely. Are you
deserved that.
kidding? And I'm sure the door is always open for her in some form or fashion. For
Exactly.
sure. For sure. So you actually texted me today and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, guess who's coming back to Days?
That was actually what I said too.
Yeah. So True O'Brien is coming back to Days of Our Lives. And I'm thinking, okay, so is this another ghost kind of thing? Or is she going to be another character? Or has she been in one of those hidden rooms and Dr. Rolf suddenly had gotten to her after all? So I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing. If you've been following the storyline of what's going on with Ben, which I think everybody has, because that's one of the most talked about storylines, you understand why Eve is doing it, and you've been questioning, is there going to be an appearance? So today, when they did announce that True was coming back, the week of August 17th,
That's next week. Okay.
that's next week.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
it is a question of, okay, is she alive? Is she a ghost?
For Eve's sake, because, Eve is not going to be one of those mothers that is going to be able to forgive
Exactly.
Ben and navigate those waters. And so I hope for Eve's sake, because she's crazy. She,
Well,
she,
she's
she's
broken.
she's
She's
crazy and broken. And she's mad, and I don't mean angry. There's madness
yeah,
in
she
her.
she feels a certain type of way. And I mean, I've talked to many people about this, is that some people are like, well, Eve shouldn't be doing this to Ben. And I'm thinking, Ben killed her daughter.
Yeah,
And regardless of the relationship status that Eve had with Paige, at the end of the day, Ben gets to walk around town, get married, get the whole cleanse, as I like to say, with, a villain or a semi-villain gets the whole, you're a good guy, you're one of us, da da da, rah rah, sis, boom, bye. Here's the thing, Paige is still dead.
yep.
Paige doesn't, like
I
Eve
get
said,
it. I get it.
she's hurt, she's broken. And you also got to think about how Eve's relationship was with Paige before she died.
Yeah. So there's a lot of guilt.
So yeah,
There's
there's a lot of
a
guilt.
lot of guilt.
So I'm curious, and you did bring up a good point, those names on the door. We have not thought about that.
That was so brilliant. Didn't you love that?
Yeah, because I had to pause every single time. I was like, okay, I'm like, okay, I think I know who that is. Us, like, so now people are going to go back and watch that scene again to see if they find Paige's initials. Way to go.
Or maybe she's been in a Demera tunnel for a while. You know, maybe she's been locked up with cases of champagne like Kate and Marlena.
I just hope for Eve's sake that, you know, Paige has not been somewhere nearby. Like right under, you know, Eve's nose. Like, you've been here all this time and you haven't, you know, but then again, it could be the factor of she got the needle and she couldn't remember anything.
I'm over that storyline though. Like, I'm done with the whole amnesia, Dr. Rolf.
Me
Like,
too.
I can't read. I'm done. So,
Me too.
I mean, you know, I'm sure the writers of Days are done with that too. It's like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious.
Yeah.
You know, if she does come back as a ghost, I'm thinking it's to tell her mother, like, Mom, you've got to stop. You've got to stop this. You know, that she's going to be that conscience, that little kernel of sanity
Mm-hmm.
that somewhere in Eve's mind and heart that only her daughter.
Does Eve have a heart? Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, of course. But you know, it's not going to be like Kiki coming back to Ava and rubbing her nose in it. Like, you deserve to be. I'm in hell because of you.
Right.
I don't think.
Now, see, I can see them doing that, like having, you know, Paige say, "Mom, you know, I'm at peace. Please don't do it." At the same time, Ben, Paige could get on Ben's conscience, like, you killed me.
Boop.
You're responsible for me not having this song being played.
Right.
You know, what was that like when they did the songs back in the day? And I can see them using Paige on both fronts.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of really dig it deep.
And I always loved her. I always loved True O'Brien. You know, she had.
I like Paige and JJ.
Yeah, I love. They were so sweet. I love them together. And True was always so grounded.
Yes.
She was just so true.
There you go.
So true in every single moment that she was on the show. So fingers crossed. I'd love to see her come back. So hopefully,
I would love to see. I mean, now that would be a real interesting twist if she, you know, actually survived. How will that play on Ben?
Or maybe she'll come back as a completely different character.
I just hope not as a twin. Like, I just hope not as a twin, because I'm kind of over that storyline too. Of you know, just because, I mean, you know, the whole Jake and stuff. Like, I feel I'm okay with him being Jake and not, you know, brainwashed, and I'm fine with that. So.
And speaking of Days, my gosh, there's just been a mass exodus of folks from the show. And you know, you brought up a good point a while ago where Days does this.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of clean house every few years.
But not like this. I mean, we can go back to 2004 when they, you know, killed off all the characters, if you guys remember that. And that was during negotiations. Fast forward to what was it, like 2008, 2009, 2012. Every year they do this to save money. And I know fans, this has been, I mean, I remember when Days of Our Lives fired Deidre Hall and Drake Hogestad. I remember that. And then 2 years later, here they come back to the show.
Yep.
It's interesting what's happening now, because if we go back to last year when Ken Corday released everybody from their contract, which I still to this day say this was a big mistake, but I know
it was a gamble that he took,
right.
But it was a financial
it
was a financial choice, and he understood that if he released everybody, then not everybody would return. But at the end of the day, it's either the choice of some actors not returning or the show not returning.
Exactly. And I think that's the whole reality check is that, you know, in order for Days to survive, they need money.
Yeah.
And, you know, they don't want to do it, you know, it's just one of those, they have to do it. So, back in January is when we first heard the first three, which was Freddie, Chandler, and Judy Evans. And well, actually it was Galen. Galen was the first one. And then
Was he
we
the
found out
first?
about yeah, he was the first because he announced that, because it was a rumor. And then he was on a podcast and he confirmed it.
It was
Saying,
such a
yeah,
good
I'm coming.
podcast. That was a good,
I come back. Yeah, it was really good.
really good. He's
Come
funny.
back. He's hilarious.
He is funny.
Yeah. Some people don't know that though.
No, we never see Rafe as a humorous kind of guy very often.
No, we don't.
So,
but if you see him at like social, like, at fan events, remember those days, fan events. We'll talk about that later.
Back in the day,
they
had a thing called in-person fan events.
Without masks. Take a moment. Okay.
I know.
Like, remember those moments. But no, I mean, you do have a lot of people that are leaving. I think, the whole Camilla Bannis story, that was speculations going around. Stacey Hadid, you have Greg Vaughn, like you said, Olivia Rose, and then you have Victoria. And let me just say this. Like we said, every other year they do this to save money. But here's the thing. The door is always open.
Totally. It's a soap opera. They could kill you off 5 times and you could still return to the show.
Right.
So.
I mean, some of these actors do want to, quote, test the water and see what else is out there. And, sometimes primetime isn't always what's, cracked up to be. That's why daytime is the best genre. Yeah. And the soaps are the best education, but it's also home.
Yeah.
There's a
sense of community. Yeah.
Right.
Unlike any other genre. You're so right.
Yeah. And you take a look at Greg Vaughn. I mean, Greg Vaughn has been on various soaps. He's been on and off days for years. He came back and the door is always open.
I liked him as Lucky.
I loved him as Lucky. Okay.
I love him on anything. So
yeah, I've been a fan of Greg Vaughn since Malibu Shores, which was on NBC back in the 90s. Yeah. So I remember him on there, totally. With Carrie Russell. And then, Freddie has been back. Chandler has been back. Camilla, I think this is the first time. Stacey. I mean, like I said, they can always come back.
Yeah.
So,
but, it's from a fan perspective, though. It's like...
yeah, because it's each day.
It's a day, nailed it.
Right. It's like, okay, can I get invested in the story before... my couple, case in point, I mean, I feel for the Eric Nicole fans. I feel for the Wilson fans. Totally. I feel for definitely the Sin fans, because you finally got this story of peace. Like, they finally got together. And then all of a sudden, darn nabbit, they're leaving. Like,
yeah, and Victoria and Rob, I mean, Ben and Sierra are a super couple.
Yeah.
And Days hasn't had that in a really long time from that age, from that demographic.
Right.
So they are something very special, and even when I had the opportunity to interview them a couple of times, and, the chemistry between them, the love for each other, their friendship is so amazing, and clearly it translates to their work. Exactly. So she's going to be missed, and I don't want them to recast. Well, I don't.
Now, let me ask this question regarding certain characters that, you have Eric, you have Will and Sonny, you have Gabby. Out of these characters, obviously for Sierra, you do not want to recast.
Nope.
And obviously they have a new Claire.
Yep.
Can you see them recasting the role of Eric?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Will and Sonny?
No.
Right.
I can't see that. What about you?
I mean, here's the thing. I know they've recast the role of Eric before, obviously.
Yeah. And they recasted the role of Will before.
Before.
I mean,
if they have story for them, then tough. Yes.
That's tough.
I mean, to me personally, I feel that's a hard one.
Yeah, it is a hard one.
I've been thrown that question because I'm like, yeah, if, Eric is involved in a storyline, then recast the role so we can continue.
Yeah.
on the flip side of it, if they don't, then I'd rather for it depends on how the story is and where they
Totally.
go in the direction. You know, with Gabby, here's the thing. Once Galen leaves, which is coming up real soon, then you have Gabby. You will not have any Hernandez on the show.
I know. A. Martinez left. I mean, it's like the whole family is just kaput.
So
Which makes me so sad.
Right, because again, you're trying to get invested in storylines, but you know that these characters are not going to be around to finish, or they may finish, and it's a strange time for Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
And all I can say is that at the end of the day, they have to know what they're doing to make the show a success.
Yeah.
And I know fans are worried because the renewal is coming up.
Yep. We shall see.
Exactly.
We shall see.
Exactly.
And speaking of fans, let's get into some events. Because, I mean, that whole world, we were just talking about it. It's like, oh, remember? Let's take a minute.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
When you were able to get on a plane or a bus or walk. So one of the best things about all of this, I mean, I know there's like a lot of people's like, really, is there any bright spots in this? It is, because there's still virtual fan events, and Star Image Entertainment is doing it big. Let me tell you, come close so I can tell you. Okay. So August 23rd, okay, which is a Sunday, you get to spend time with Emmy Award winner, funny guy. I guess he's cute too, Eric Motzoff, and his special guest, equally hot. And now his character is expecting something, money. That's what he's expecting. You thought I was going to spoil it for you. Lamar Archie are going to have a one-on-one fan event. Now, listen, okay, it's a Zoom party, and it's going to be at 7:00 Eastern on Sunday, okay? So if you purchase the tickets, the proceeds goes to cancer patients and their families, okay? So it's a limited seating because, it's only limited room. So about 16, 17. So go to Star Image Entertainment page on Facebook, click, go to their link, and check out the events. Almost every Sunday, they have a different event. Of course, Eric is your host. He's had Robert and Victoria, Kyle Lauder,
He's
Paul.
terrific. Yeah.
Like, it's just like every Sunday, and sometimes it's on Thursdays too. So check them out.
Check them out.
Yeah, check them out.
With this whole, so they're doing fan events a whole new way. And with the soaps coming back into production, it's a new world in production. We're seeing how The Bold and the Beautiful has navigated, and how Y&R is navigating this, and how GH is navigating this. And so this also applies to the web series. We've got The Bay, the series. They have resumed production because they were shut down when the pandemic first hit. And they released a statement, and I really have to give kudos to them. They said, strictly adhering to the newly established industry guidelines, Lani Entertainment and the Bay producers have implemented rigorous safety standards and protocols, including a skeleton crew and most of the cast being quarantined on a private 800-acre property, in addition to regular COVID-19 testing and mandatory daily temperature checks from an on-set medical professional. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. When I heard that they were coming back into production, I was like, oh, it's scary. It's a scary time. It's tough because the actors want to work. The production people want to work, but it's scary. And so when you've got a team, Gregory J. Martin and Christos Andrews, at the helm of this, they've always had such an amazing sense of community, going back to what you and I were talking about.
Right.
Soaps in general having such an amazing sense of community. And this has crossed over into the web dramas, into the digital dramas. And Gregory has just created such a safe environment for everybody that I just want.
Yeah, I think that's been the whole, especially when you hear about everything going back into production, it's like how trustworthy And that's the big thing. You have to have trust. And I'm glad to hear that everybody was on this, on the acre. Jojo, you could have called me and Tam. We could have been there too. And I'm just saying. But I love the fact that they're getting daily testing by professional. They're taking all of, they're doing just what CDC guidelines are.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that the Bay is back. I can't wait for their drama.
It's so good. Yeah. I mean, they've got so 14 all new episodes, the second half of season 5, and then all of season 6.
Okay.
And so this is some of the casting announcements for the Bay. John Apria, former Lucas from Another World. I miss Another World so much. I know. I miss all the soap operas. He joins the cast in season 6, which is going to be great. William Christian, former from All My Children. Yeah. Alum who played Derek, is playing a recurring role of a doctor in season 6. Ooh. We've got Carrington Garland. Hello. Former Kelly. Yes, from Santa Barbara. She will make her first appearance on the Bay's 10-year anniversary special, which is going to be in September 15th. That's going to be
crazy.
Christy Ferris.
Oh my God.
Passions.
My Simone.
I know. Miss Simone from Passions. She'll be guest starring in a couple of episodes. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Karush Tran.
Karushi
plays. Yeah, she plays Pete's wife, Christos Andrews' wife on the show. She'll be coming back for season 6, and Vanessa Williams is returning.
Yay!
Yes, so it's an exciting time, and nobody in daytime has a guidebook for how to do all of this.
Nobody does.
Nobody has a guidebook, so it's wonderful that the Bay is creating a guidebook that surely can be looked at and used for the other web series and obviously for the other daytime dramas as well.
Exactly. And I think you just said something. It just made me just kind of whoa. 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary. Yep.
That doesn't seem. No, wait, no, nope. Because I remember day one. That's crazy. That's such an accomplishment. 10 years.
10 years.
I mean, that's a decade.
They were groundbreaking. There were a few digital dramas back in the day, and I think when Gregory decided he didn't want to do a digital drama, he was approached. It's like, this is the wave. Right. Tristan Rogers is the one that said, "Dude, you need to get into this. This is the wave of the future." He's like, okay, well, and then when the Daytime Emmys created a category.
Yes.
For these digital dramas, Gregory's like, all right, let's do this. And Christos was there from day one. So yeah, 10 years.
10 years. I mean, and I'm going to say this real quick, shameless plug. If you have not checked out The Bay, you need to, because some of your favorite daytime actors who you've seen for years as playing one-side characters, a la Matthew Ashford.
Oh my God, I was just going to say that. Ron
Moss, okay? Chad Duell, okay? Mary Beth. You will see a completely different side to them to make you wonder, what am I missing? What is this show about?
If we were in studio right now, I would literally be up and doing a happy dance. Because I love seeing Ron Moss and Matthew Ashford and Chadwell in these roles that you just typically, you just don't see them, and they sink their teeth. Yes.
They explode. And it's just, and like I said, I can't even talk because that's how good the show is. And we're not just saying it, okay?
The music, too. Don't you love the music?
As soon as you said it started playing in my head.
It's so good, so sexy.
We don't have the rights to it, but
I know.
But you guys can figure it out, and we're dancing to it because it's just. I mean, Jackie Zeman.
Yeah.
Brittany.
Yeah.
Icons of daytime is a part of this, and I can't wait for the season to start. And congratulations for making it safe, for doing this safe and having fun. Now, speaking of safe and having fun and icons, Deidre Hall. You may know her. She's on this little show called Days of Our Lives. She was on, the debut episode of Young and the Restless, Electric Woman, Dinah Girl.
I love that show. That's where I first saw her, was Electra Woman, Dinah Girl.
See, obviously, I know her from, actually, the first place that I really did see her was on Our House. And then I saw her as, Devil Marlena. Yeah. That's how I got introduced to her.
And episodes of Columbo. She's been on. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's fantastic. Anyway.
Okay. But see, we're talking about memories. And one of the things about memories is you can scrapbook them. So on August 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, Deidre Hall is going to headline with Close to My Heart to benefit Operation Smile. You guys know about Operation Smile. It's an
amazing organization. Yeah.
So she's going to be doing a Facebook Live session of scrapbooking. If you don't know about scrapbooking, don't worry, neither do I.
But it's a thing.
It's a big thing. Especially now, it's been a thing. So basically what it's going to be is that she's also going to be promoting her Westbrook collection watercolor card set. You guys have seen it. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
You need to see it. It is so pretty. And it's, the way I can explain it is, you remember those old paint shows like on PBS?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are how the cards look. They're so amazing. And I just, it's okay. So she's going to be doing the live event with the Close to My Heart president, Monica, and I'm going to probably say her name wrong. So I think it's Wingun. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm sorry if I messed up her name. But they're going to create the Happy Place Cut Above album, which they're going to share their experiences from the Operation Smile vet and volunteer medical mission. And Deidre first did this back in 2009 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Yes. I don't know why I felt like saying it just like that, but that's how it's going to be. So you can go to Close to My Heart Facebook page, click going. Okay, it's going to be in caps, going, to enter, get some fun prizes, including a set of her cards. And who knows, she may throw in the TV Guide cover.
Right? That fan said, "Can I send you my TV Guide so you can autograph it?" And she's like, "Yep, here's the address. Send it to me."
You know what? Just for that alone, can I real quick sideline? Thank you, TV Guide, for doing that.
I know.
For showcasing all 4 soaps.
Yeah.
That was really
awesome.
Big.
That was
right. Really big.
That was so cool. When we're talking about daytime, it's not just the soap operas. I mean, this daytime today, it's a lot of content, under the umbrella of daytime television. We've got the talk shows and the game shows. And so The View, Little Miss Sarah Haynes, this is confirmed, is returning to The View.
I wish we could have balloons and confetti and everything.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Okay, let me stop fangirling, because I really did get excited. From the standpoint of what's going on, are we surprised that she's coming back to the
I don't
show?
think we're surprised. I mean, she was one of those, like, what's obvious, like, if you're going to reach out to someone, because she was so popular, so.
Right. And, another thing too, it's not like she hasn't been back to The View. I mean, before everything was shut down, she would pop over to promote, Strahan, Kiki, and Sarah. And like you said, she is a fan favorite. It's just going to be real interesting.
Yes, the dynamics. It's going to be really interesting.
Because allegedly, when we get to allegedly, I do have something to say about that too.
Okay, good.
Because that's gonna be interesting. Now, first and foremost, on our next story, we want to send congratulations to John Legend.
Yes.
Him and Christy are expecting baby number 3, and I'm so happy about that. And I'm also happy that he is going to be working with somebody from one of my favorite soap operas. And if you follow me on social media, my favorite soap opera is Gone Light.
When I saw this in the news, I was like, oh my God, Candace is going to lose her mind.
So you have John Legend all of me. Okay, that was it. That was the only snippet we could do. And Light alum Nina Long, they're going to be working together with Sony Pictures Television to bring the story of power, race, political, you name it, from the author of Goldie Taylor's 2018 bestseller, Paper Gods, to American Broadcasting Company.
Yes.
Now, this is going to be good because, Long will star and executive produce the project.
This is fantastic.
And she's always wanted to do this. If you've been, following her since Gone Light, she's always talked about behind the scenes. Well, it's going to be in development with Get Lifted co-founder Michael Jackson. I wanted to say that so bad. And showrunner Trash Gray. In a statement, Gray said, Nina and I came together in remembrance of our friend and mentor, John Singleton, Boys in the Hood, who passed away.
Yeah.
Has it been a year, 2 years?
I think it's been maybe two, little over. I think it's been over a year.
Yeah. So Grace said that from that friendship blossoms an opportunity to tell profound stories that's near and dear to our heart. Both of us, girls from the hood, stand proudly as Black women, Black Lives Matter, dedicated to telling the truth about our existence in the world that rarely champions or protects us. Yet we continuously I can't even talk right now, to save the world. I'm so happy and excited to work with amazing people to tell a story guaranteed to captivate audience with Miss Nina Long as our lead.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I just love seeing, I'm just going to be real. I love seeing women exceed and excel.
Exactly.
And, she's executive producer. Please continue paving the way.
Exactly.
Please.
And she's learned from the best in the business. I mean, she's worked with Whoopi Goldberg back in the day. Obviously, like I said, Gone Light. Nina Long and John first and foremost, John Legend, let's give him his props because he's an EGOT.
Yep.
He's an EGOT. I like saying that word, EGOT.
It's a good word.
So I know, right? They should name their child EGOT. I would love it if they EGOT Legend. That right there.
That's it. That's a hashtag right there.
That really is.
I think that needs to go viral.
Somebody make that viral. Like the crazy girl on Daytime Today said, and I quote, EGOT Legend. Okay. I agree with you. I love seeing women coming together, helping build each other up, especially creating new content.
Yeah.
Paper Gods is a really good book. If you have not checked it out, I highly recommend, this is the book club portion of Daytime Today, to get it. And I can't wait to see how can I describe this for fans? It's sort of like Scandal. Well, it's Scandal meets the former soap Capital.
Yeah, so I've got all that political intrigue.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's really
with
good.
Women at the helm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like Scandal, The Good Wife, Capital.
Is good. Yeah.
It's gonna be really good. So stay tuned. ABC.
Good choice, you guys. The network's actually made a good decision.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit. So Chloe Lanier and Brittany Sarpy are coming together. I read this piece and it's such an amazing cause. They made a statement. They've joined forces to help raise funds for those with autism. And the statement was, on behalf of our loved ones with autism, this is coming from Chloe, Brittany and I have teamed up to raise funds and awareness for the fantastic organization that is Next for Autism, for our hashtag Nexercise Challenge. If you're able, we're collecting donations to reach and hopefully surpass our goal of $2,500 via our Chloe LaBrit hashtag Next for Autism team page now through August 15th. So today's the 14th. So tomorrow, August 15th. Now, I didn't know this, but Chloe said, as a former respite caregiver for children with autism, this is an organization very close to my heart. Next for Autism is committed to meeting the services needed by the 1 in 54 children and 5 million adults with autism in the United States. Okay, so on August
Wow.
15th, tomorrow, Saturday, after donating, you can go to donate. Let me throw this out. Go to give.nextforautism.org. That's give.nextforautism.org. After you donate, you can virtually join them by running, walking, swimming, spinning a
Oh, that's
5K.
awesome.
Yeah, just to show your support and lend your support with, it's so wonderful to see. But folks in daytime are always doing this. they're
They really
always
do.
they're always lending their voice and support to causes near and dear to their hearts. So
Yes,
want to say thank you to Chloe and Brittany for
exactly.
organizing this.
Yeah, I didn't know she was a caregiver, and that
Yeah,
just, with me, I work with children.
yeah,
Side note, that's my side job, is working with kids, and I love them to death. And you know, we always want to do better for the next generation. And I know right now things are really confusing and it's really hectic, but when you come together for a cause like autism, there's just this whole, it's peaceful, it's your, just donate. I'm just going to say it like
yeah,
that. I can't even put it into words, but it's
yeah.
just feel good. And right now
Yeah, you're
we need
donating
to
to
hear,
pure love. You're donating.
yeah,
There's just such a purity. So yeah, support, you guys. Support, support, support.
yep, exactly. And let's support this next segment, which I love. This is
Yes.
this is the this is the one that we was like talking about. And look, she's getting it. Look at the cup. Look at the cup. She's getting ready for the tea here. Okay, so let's talk about some alleged
Mhm.
items of daytime. Now,
We
if you
can
go on
neither confirm
confirm
nor
or
deny.
deny, but we have some facts. Just saying, we're like Cagney and Lacey. Okay, so the first thing is Keke Palmer. You guys know her. You guys love her. True Jackson. Of course, the now canceled Michael Strahan, Keke. All that. She wants to put together a new modernized version of The View. She went on her Twitter account and said, well, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, modern youthful View. Like, who do you think should be my co-host? I'm going to throw it at you, madam. Allegedly, excuse me, your daytime today. You're with
I know. I
us.
can do both. I'm every woman. I can do it
Well,
all.
there you go. There you go. There you go. But what do you think about this? A modern, youthful version of The View? Because I could have sworn there was one called The Real.
Yeah, good point. Uh, and how many of these shows do we need? That's my other
Right.
question.
Right. We have The Real, The
The
Talk, The
talk, the chew,
View.
or
Well, we
is the
did have
chew
well,
one of them?
yeah, well, The Chew was one of them, but I wonder whatever happened to that show.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we
right. It's
had The
off.
Revolution. Yeah, we had The
Right.
Revolution. We had you have Red Table Talk on Facebook with Jada. So you do
Yeah,
have this whole format that was started by The View. I mean, Barbara Walters, had a group of women,
absolutely.
all different.
1997. Yep.
Yeah. I'm for Kiki just to be on The View.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
You
I
don't
don't
have
know if
to
she needs.
create.
Yeah, I don't think she needs to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
Um,
I can see, and I'm actually, you know what? Allegedly, there's fans who are actually saying that.
yeah,
They feel as though if they can bring Sarah back, which kind of also goes into the little bonus here, allegedly, people want Megan out. And Megan has constantly gone on social media saying, I'm not leaving the show, I'm not. But allegedly, if the ratings wants to go up, they might want to bring in new blood.
yeah.
And Kiki, no offense, I love you, girl, and I hope True Jackson happens, the reboot. But I agree. I don't want to see a new View style show. I'd rather
Yeah.
for you to be on The View.
Yeah. And was speaking about new styles, I mean, with the whole Ellen DeGeneres, let's just call it a fiasco because it is. You know, even before it all blew up, when Kelly Clarkson started her talk show, people were
Mm-hmm.
saying back then,
She was
ooh,
the
you
new.
know, maybe there's some competition now in regards to who's going to be wearing the crown for daytime television, who's going to be the
Mm-hmm.
new queen or king of daytime television.
Me.
Yeah,
Me.
I'll watch your show
Thank you.
because there's Kelly Clarkson,
Right.
Drew Barrymore's show
More
started in September.
timber. Mm-hmm.
September. John Legend.
Yep, John Legend has been, the alleged rumor is John Legend, before, you know, we found out about baby number 3, is that he was going to go and try to develop a talk show. Here's the thing about this whole Ellen, like who can be the next Ellen. This is always happening in the world of talk shows. Let's go back to who could be the next Oprah.
Yeah.
Let's go back to who could be the next Ricky Lake or
Yeah.
Phil Donahue.
Phil Donahue. That was exactly who I was thinking of. Yeah.
I mean, this happens every, sort of what we said about Days of Our Lives, every year, every decade. It's kind of hard to see what's happening to the Ellen brand. I will say it like that, because we've been on the journey with Ellen, from her stand-up to her groundbreaking, you know, TV show to, you know, her talk show. And it's one of those things that's like, okay, you know, for so long she's been up here and now all of a sudden she's going down. And you do realize that there is, you know, a new world out there. There's new hosts. And like you said, Kelly Clarkson. When Ellen DeGeneres made an appearance on episode 1 of Kelly Clarkson, that's where everybody said, oh, Kelly Clarkson is the new Ellen. Kelly Clarkson is bubbly. We followed Kelly since American Idol. We all know how she is, how she interacts with people.
But you can't compare. That's the thing.
Right.
You know, it's like if Ellen is going to get dethroned by Kelly, it's like you can't compare because they're two completely different personalities and they're completely different shows.
And remember, they did that with Wendy Williams. They was like, she was the next Oprah. And like Wendy said, just because they're 2 Black women doesn't mean they're the same person. Because they're completely different. Trust and believe. So it's going to be interesting. And then you throw in Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Barrymore. That's going to be I'll check it out, I think. I don't know. We'll see.
Allegedly, I'm going to say this. Allegedly, Candace is surprised that Drew Barrymore, who shares the same birthday as me, is doing a talk show. I would never have thought.
Nope.
I love her promo, though. Did you see her promo?
It's very
cute. And I'm thinking, okay, this is the only thing Drew has not done. I mean, she's done film, she's done television. You know, she's done videos. You know, why not roll the dice? It's just going to be really interesting. Drew Barrymore, who fans can relate to because she's really grown up in front of all of us, and she's hit, you know,
she's very personable, she's very sweet, she's very funny and quirky, and so it'll be interesting.
It's going to be interesting, especially if John Legend comes in with a talk show, Mr. You know, Music Man, and I can see his show kind of being like a variety show. You know, he, you know, singing, performing.
For sure, like Harry Connick.
Christy comes in, you know, with her baby bump and saying, "Hey, everybody!" So it's going to be interesting, but I don't think nobody can really dethrone Ellen. I think Ellen is her own person, but it's just going to be interesting of who is going to be the new daytime king or queen. The new darling of daytime. And so far, Kelly, because Kelly won an Emmy. First year out the gate. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the world.
I'm actually looking forward to it because it needs a shot of new energy, and Kelly has been that for sure. So we'll see what Drew brings in, we'll see what John brings in, and it'll be good because they're so different. They're so different.
Yeah, all of a sudden I just thought about something. What if Drew Barrymore actually brings E.T. as the first guest? Like phone home receipts. So like that would be cute if they did it. I know, right? That would be cute if they did the whole E.T. reunion.
Yeah.
On that. See, I'm pulling ideas.
I like that. Oh my gosh, there's so much we could be talking about, but we got to wrap this puppy
I
up. And
know.
before we do, so Daytime Today, this is the maiden voyage.
Yeah.
First show, we are going to be here every Friday on JLJ Media, created by
Woo-hoo.
James Lott Jr. You can find JLJ Media on YouTube, and and he's got so much content on his in his production roster. But let's just throw out some of the soap goodies, the soap goodness.
Yes, please.
Forever and a Day. So quickly dive into that, and where can folks find that show and what's that about?
Okay, so Forever and a Day was created by Casey Hutchins and myself. It's about three families. You have three different families in the world of politics, love, friendship, you name it. And there's twists and turns every episode, you guys. Monday and Fridays is where you can listen to the episode. It's an audio soap opera, not
which
a
is
visual.
fantastic. It harkens back to the radio days, which is what I love about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not only that, we're celebrating the 90th anniversary of the soap genre. That's from radio to television to digital to audio. And this Monday, and I have to plug this Monday, Beth Ellers, let me repeat, Beth Ellers, Gone Light, anybody? Harley, All My Children, Taylor. She is joining the show as Melody. I can't give anything away. I do not know, the writers, but I can tell you that it's going to be an experience. And you can find us Mondays and Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Central, 12 Pacific on JLJ Media, all streaming services. It's so good. And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FAAD Podcast, Facebook Forever and a Day Podcast, and follow us on our website, FAADseries.com. You do not want to miss it.
It's so good, you guys.
It's so good.
So good.
Oh.
And speaking of good, also on JLJ Media, he's got the Bold and Beautiful Mini Spotlight, which I am co-hosting with him and Amanda Russ. So that's this Sunday at 3 p.m. Because there's so much to talk about on Bold and Beautiful. It's like insane. There's also a GH Mini Spotlight. There is a Y&R Mini Spotlight. And there's a Bold and Beautiful Rewind. Bold and Beautiful Rewind, which is an audio-only podcast. I know. So check that out. And then that spotlights old Bold and Beautiful. So James takes like an older storyline, takes an older character, and talks about it, and just kind of harkens back to the past, which is always great.
Yeah, it's a good history lesson.
Yeah. And so Candace, before we sign off, talk about Dish and Days.
Okay, folks. 2 characters have been on social media on Days fans' tongue, and that is Ben and Eve. So if you're a Days for Our Lives fan, tune in this Sunday because they're going to be on there. Oh, yes. Robert Scott Wilson and Cassie DePaiva will be talking about this crazy storyline of Eve and Ben and Brainwash, and you don't want to miss that. And you can catch Dish and Days every Sunday at 3 p.m. If you're a Days fan, listen. Come here. Days fans, check the show out, okay? It's a go-to.
It's fantastic.
It is must-see.
Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, they kick butt, and
they do.
Caps are always amazing. So make sure and check it out.
And you can find them on YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube, okay?
Sure,
they're
and
new
subscribe.
YouTube.
Candace,
tell a friend.
Where can people find you on social?
You guys can find me on Instagram at CandyMac82, on Twitter at CandyPoo, and you can find me on Forever and a Day podcast. Hello.
That's
Check
so
it out.
great. And you can find Daytime Today across all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Daytime Today. Please follow, like, comment. And you can find me, tell a friend. And you can find me on Insta at Tammy.Govea and on Twitter at Tammy Govea. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. We can't wait to continue with this. We love the daytime community. Obviously,
we really do.
We are here to support and promote the daytime community. So we will see all of you next Friday.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, let me.
Okay.
We're still recording.
Yeah. I feel like singing the Love Boat theme song.
Stop recording.